Hi, this is Sarah.
And this is Rachel.
And this is the Rippah Diaries, a podcast where we rip apart, episode by episode, the Vampire Diaries. Warning, this is a rewatch podcast, so at this point there are definitely spoilers ahead.
And this week we're talking about Season 1, Episode 16, There Goes the Neighborhood. This is the double date episode where Caroline and Matt and Stefan and Elena go on a double date. Meanwhile, Jenna, Damon, and Kelly Donovan get drunk at the grill, where the double date is also happening for a little bit, which is wild.
Like a 7-person date.
Yeah. Jeremy and Anna have more drama. And of course, we see at the beginning of the episode, all of the tomb vampires are out and are living in the random person that they've compelled's house. Mm-hmm. And there's some infighting going on. There's a little internal struggle. They're not getting along at all.
Yeah. I thought you said inviting, and I was like,
no.
They are doing that.
They've all been invited in. They all got her to invite them in. But the infighting, they're all...
And that's where this
tension.
episode kicks off, is Anna and the tomb vampires are all staying at Mrs. Higgins, is what they call her.
Yeah.
And Frederick, he's sort of the face of the tomb vampires, I feel. I don't know, like, if most people I would not remember his name if we didn't just watch it, but
maybe Frederick's, but no one else.
I wouldn't remember his. I remember Harper, but not Frederick.
I do love Harper.
I never remember Frederick's name. So Frederick is feeding on Mrs. Higgins' wrist, I think, and then like she asks if Anna wants some, and you can see she's already got bite marks on her neck.
Yep.
This poor woman.
I
living
know.
blood bag that they're just compelling. Like, it's unfortunate that they did that to her. I'm shocked kind of that Anna and Pearl are okay with that.
Well, I think you can kind of see in this scene, Anna is onlooking. She's definitely not cool with it. And I think Pearl is maybe like sort of okay with it, but not the rest of the shenanigans that
That's true.
I think Pearl just sees it as like, you know, a means to an end. Like, they have to do this so they can.
That's true. They need somewhere to stay. They need some way to feed.
Yeah. I guess
just
this has to be it. Yeah.
But poor Mrs. Higgins, and then right into poor Matt.
Oh,
as always. Matt literally has to go check in the morning if his mother is alive and tell her to not party so much. He's literally like finding a job for her. He's telling her there's a bartending job at the Mystic Grill. Yeah. Like, he's literally parenting Kelly, his mother.
Yeah, he is taking care of her. He's saying, like, you know, he pays all the bills and all of these things. All the things we've been saying before, where it's like he is supporting himself, trying to pay for the house, the bills, all these things. And she, meanwhile, is just getting
partying,
blackout at the bachelor auction and bringing men home.
Yeah.
Those sorts of things. I do feel bad for Matt.
Yeah.
This season 1, all of it is very sympathetic for Matt.
I know, it's so sympathetic. And like, if you really weren't realizing these things until right now, like right now it's like, it's like bad. Like, how can you not notice how bad it is for Matt?
Yeah.
So then Caroline shows up, which only... it doesn't make situations worse, but Kelly hates her.
Kelly hates her.
She just immediately, like, rolls her eyes and, like,
Caroline walks in and, says, like, hello. And she gets up and walks out. Kelly does. Kelly gets up and walks out. She's so...
That's a 16, I think, year old girl at this point. Like...
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's
Kelly is acting like a child. Like, I see where Matt is coming from when he's like...
Yeah.
Be better.
Yeah. No, it's, like, fully fair.
Yeah.
So it's just really unfortunate. But it's time to get to school again. People are always going places before school. I guess Caroline's maybe just picking him up. I don't know what she's doing there. But also at school, Stefan and Elena, they're catching up on all the, like, sort of Damon Isabel drama. Yeah. Just kind of where they're at with that. And just talking about how crazy things are. Yeah. And how they want to try and be normal.
And have fun. Yeah.
Yeah. They need to have a fun day because it's been really bad thus far.
It's been, not very fun. They're not really, having a good start to their relationship. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Like, if the finding out the vampire and the doppelganger thing was bad enough, it's, like, escalated into vampire mothers and tomb vampires and et cetera, et cetera. So they need some fun. And so Matt and Caroline show up at school. Yes. And we get another pining look from Matt.
Oh, my God.
Towards Elena and Stefan, like, kissing. I thought we were past that phase. Like, I knew we weren't.
Yeah. I thought we were past the, like, leering, the pining looks. Yeah. The longing. Yeah. I thought we were past that. Like, at least try to conceal it. I understand the feelings are still there, but, like.
Totally. And it is one thing to be like, it's going to take me a really long time to get over Elena. She was my first love. We were together for years. But it's another to be like, Oh, I stare
like
at her
longingly
across
looking at her
the
in
halls.
school. Yeah, no.
Especially while I'm there with like my current girlfriend.
And she's dating someone else. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so this kind of gets Caroline going because she notices that. And so she asks Elena and Stefan to go on a double date.
Yes, she's wild for that one.
Well, okay, I actually think this is great. I think this is another sort of mature Caroline moment.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy for high school. Like, in the high school context, she is wild for that.
Yes.
But, like, as an adult watching this and, like, seeing, like, your friend is dating your ex, this is exactly what I would do. I would be like,
yeah, that's
we
true.
just
like,
need to hang
we all
out
just need to,
as a
do
group.
something to get over, like, the awkwardness
Yeah, like, let's
hump.
clear the air. Like, I still want to be friends with you. I don't want anything to change about, like, our relationship. But, like, we need to, like, clear the air here. It's actually very mature.
I think it is definitely very mature. I think the only thing that makes it feel like it's wild and out there is Matt is just still in the staring longing phase.
Yeah, Caroline's trying to be mature and Matt is trying to be high school.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing that makes it wild is Matt's still
and Elena is definitely getting the awkward vibes from it, which, to be fair, Elena's in the most awkward position of anybody in this situation because she's the one who's broken up with him and moved on, and her best friend is dating him. Like, she's very much the central figure in this.
Definitely.
So it's fair that she's, like, a little reserved about wanting to agree and not thinking it's a good idea. But Stefan is the one that's
He's
like...
all in. Yeah.
It sounds like fun. Wink,
the
wink.
fun we should be having. Yeah.
So they agree that they'll do it. And I think it's, in theory, a good idea. And I do think
so.
Ends up proving to be a good idea. Obviously, some shenanigans happen.
It works out pretty well in the end, I think.
Yeah, they needed to... Some shenanigans happen that's out of their control.
If you could isolate the double date, it worked out well.
Yeah. No, it did. I mean, it's like, again, the point that Caroline made was valid. Like, they just need to prove again they're all friends. Like, there is no bad blood between anybody here, and there shouldn't be.
No.
So, nice idea on Caroline's part.
Yeah, not bad.
And then... more is going on with the tomb vampires.
Yes.
Pearl is teaching Harper about cell phones.
Oh my gosh.
Which is funny because you can just tell she's like regurgitating like what Anna has told her. Because she definitely learned about cell phones like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
literally. Yeah. When she clearly doesn't know what she's doing because then a voicemail starts playing from Jeremy, who's left Anna a little voicemail asking where she's been. He hasn't seen her in a while.
Yep.
Who's the creepy stalker now, Jeremy?
Talk about longing. Yeah.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
They really have.
And so Pearl and Anna, they're mostly focused on, acclimating and getting everybody else acclimated. So Anna obviously hasn't followed up with Jeremy yet. Yeah. And she goes with her mom to the Salvatore House. Yes. Where Damon shows up.
Damon comes back and he finds Pearl and Anna in the house, in the Salvatore house. And they basically are saying... all the tomb vampires are out. Like, they reveal this because Damon didn't know this at this point. And they also say, we know you're a part of the Founders Council. Like, Anna's been here since the comet, which she says. Yeah. And basically, they tell him, like, we want you to get them off Vervain. We are going to make this 1864 again. We are going to, put things back the way they were, which, I don't know. Move on, ladies. Like... yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess a lot of things change in, 150 years. But one, not that Pearl even knows about. But also, why would you want to stay here? Like,
especially knowing the council is active currently.
Yes, and they have Vervain. Yeah. And Damon's on their side, which I guess if you really wanted to, you could reveal Damon's identity or something and ingratiate yourself. I don't know. I don't think that would be a good plan. So no. I really don't see what their angle is here.
I think this is going to come up a few times throughout this episode because they just keep presenting this idea that neither of them wants to, like, move on. And I think it's in part, like, to sort of earn back the time that they lost. And I think it's also sort of, like, not revenge necessarily because it's not, like, wicked in nature, but, like, that they sort of want, I don't know, like a redemption. They want
a lot of things were taken from them. We see... in just a few scenes, like the apothecary was taken from Pearl and like all of these things. So I agree, not like revenge per se, but it's definitely like
payback.
We are owed the things that that were taken from us.
And why should we have to leave? Yeah. Which is a fair thought process in theory. Yes. But no, because, I mean, obviously what happens is, it doesn't work out. And it makes complete sense. It's like the second that you realize that the council is still active, there's still Vervain around town, you have to leave.
Yes, and that Damon and Stefan are ostensibly on the side of the council.
Yeah.
Because they've befriended humans and, like, they love Elena and all of these things.
Yeah.
And I feel like Stefan, you know, wouldn't want, like, Caroline and Matt or people like that to get hurt. So, I mean,
That's true.
it just doesn't really make sense to stick around.
No.
I don't know.
It doesn't. But they have some smart theories because they do mention also in this scene that they're surprised Damon and Stefan don't have a human or a living person, they say, there. So that, like, no vampires can enter. Which is obviously why they're staying at Mrs. Higgins' house.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting because, I mean, it makes sense in theory. Like, we do know, you know, you can't come in if you're not invited in. But I feel like this is sort of the first times that we're getting this as sort of a tactic.
Yeah, like a strategic move.
Yeah.
It is interesting because it is the first time we see it. And also it made me think, like, Damon, you know, he was overcome with the bloodlust when he killed Zach. He should have kept him around just for that reason.
That's true.
Like, just to have a human who owned the house.
Yeah.
Because I assume up until, like, they killed him, he was the person who owned the house and you had to be invited in.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put themselves in a big risk factor by doing that, which obviously comes back around at the end of this episode. Yeah. And it comes in time and time again, which is why at the end of season 2 they finally decide to put it in Elena's name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was funny that they brought it up that it's like this is like protection number 1 in a town full of vampires.
Yeah.
But this has only become a problem like this episode or like the last.
Yeah, I guess before it doesn't matter because they're the only two vampires in town. It was just them anyway.
But now it's a big issue. But I'm shocked that they don't like resolve that immediately. They're just kind of like, okay. So
yeah, you would think they'd have Elena over there signing the deed right then and there, but
they should have.
Or anyone they could compel.
Stefan still doesn't want Elena like fully involved, I think, is part of it.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, Jeremy, he has moved on from getting answers from Bing, and he has changed his tactics.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy's now getting random answers from, like, chat rooms.
Yeah, from Bloody Becky and You Suck 14 were their usernames.
And his name is, like, Vamp Jer.
Vamp Jer, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's just in this random chat room asking questions about vampires.
Yeah.
Serious answers only.
Yeah.
Like...
And people are trolling the hell out of him. Of course they are.
Of course, I would too. Like,
yeah.
What do you think?
He's such a weirdo. And then when he's like asking, how do you kill a vampire? And people are like, the blood of Paula Abdul or whatever. And somebody says like, a stake should work. And he's like, you're a believer?
Yeah.
And the other person's like, aren't you? Like, this is a vampire chat room. What are you doing here?
Yeah, which I guess, you know, some people are probably in it to troll people. But there have to be some believers in there. Like, why else would it exist?
I don't know. I just thought that was so funny. He had to move on from Bing to a random chat room. That's where you get your answers in 2009.
Chat rooms. Yeah, sure.
Okay, Jeremy. Let me see how you were failing history for a while.
Yeah, we see this is the research process. Yeah, go back to the diaries. Honestly, though, they have way more information than...
That's true.
The chat room.
The diaries have everything he needs to know about the vampires and like but I mean, again, he doesn't know. He doesn't
know that that's real.
He doesn't know it's real, and also Jonathan Gilbert has a reputation for being crazy. So
true. How
does he know? Oh, also, we forgot to mention about Pearl with Damon that she offers him. In order to like have, you know, Damon help them get them in with the council. She will give him the one thing that he wants. He's like, there's nothing that I want. Yeah. I'll give you Catherine. I'll tell you where Catherine is. Which is a smart tactic, but
yeah. Oh, I was just thinking that is, I mean, interesting that Damon eventually he's like, no. Yeah. I'm over it. I don't want her. But which I think lends credence to my belief that he fell in love with Elena like when she embraced him after that loss. But anyway. But Pearl also says she's got 400 or 500 years on Damon.
Yes. This was the other thing I wanted to talk about.
Which there is so much more that, I mean, it would all be purely speculation, but I'm just wondering how long were she and Catherine friends? Like, how long have they been together?
Because that was older than Catherine.
Yeah, 500 years before Damon is 650 years before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I would love to know how they kind of came together. Also, does that make Anna...
Okay, this
like
is what I was...
700 years old?
This was going to ask. Whatever? This was the first time watching this that I was like, wait a second. Is Anna even Pearl's biological daughter? I had always assumed...
I had that same thought, too.
I'd always assumed she was. But then in this scene, like, thinking about it, and she said 500 years older, and she knocked Damon out, like, fast. Like,
in a second.
On the ground in a second. Anna and him were perfectly power matched.
Yeah.
Like, they held each other and, like, held.
Yeah.
Which, to me, indicates they're probably similar in age. Granted, like... she's in a younger body, but we've never been told that, like, turning as a 15-year-old versus as a 25-year-old makes any difference on your strength. It's always been about your actual age.
Yeah.
Which if Anna has 500 years on Damon, she should have been able to also put him on the ground flat.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I mean, I think there is something to the idea that her being, like, probably 15 would make her weaker. Because Damon is, like, 25.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I do think that could make her weaker.
But we've seen Caroline, who was 17, take out Damon. Granted, it was in, like, some more stressful, motivated situations.
Yeah, it was more of, like, a anger.
Heightened. Yeah. However, she she's a 17-year-old girl. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. This was the first time I was
I had the same thought too.
She's not her daughter, not biologically.
Yeah, she might not be. I mean, there's nothing to say that she would have to be. And also,
we just don't know enough.
Yeah, and it would make sense for women to want to, like, stick together and for her to, I mean, Pearl seems maternal. Of course, she'd want to take her in.
It also could be not just, like, the maternal instincts and, like, feminine instincts of sticking together, but also, like, the cover of being, like, at Pearl's age, being, like, a vampire, traveling with no men, with no anybody.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to just be like, oh, I'm just this single woman who's lost my family in, like, you know, the 1800s.
Yeah.
But in the 1800s, being like, I'm with my daughter and I've lost my husband. A little bit of better cover.
Yeah, especially if you're also traveling with Catherine, who's drawing attention to you left and right.
Oh my gosh. She has to hook up with every man in every town.
She's hooking up with every man in the town. Yeah.
True.
So, yeah, maybe there is something there. It also, this is the last thing I'll say on this theory, but I think it would also make sense because it doesn't really seem like Anna and Catherine, like, have known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing to say that they didn't, but it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, like, so maybe, Anna says she saw Catherine, like, while Pearl was in the tomb.
Yeah.
But, like, other than that, she doesn't indicate that she, like, knows a lot about Catherine or understands Catherine.
Yeah.
In the same way that Pearl is constantly, like, mentioning, like, I know her thoughts. I know her patterns.
Yeah.
I've been with her for 500 years.
Yeah. So maybe maybe Anna came into the picture later on. Yeah. You know, only shortly before. Yeah. So maybe. I don't know. I think there's something there.
It's very heartwarming. I'm curious if we get any other clues towards that, so I'll definitely be watching for that.
I will too, yeah.
So the double date is about to start. Stefan comes to Elena's house before, and he brings her flowers because they're trying to be normal. They're trying to have fun. They're trying to do regular boyfriend-girlfriend things. Yes. And they acknowledge that. Like, they say that they need to be less serious, which I was like, thank God that they're aware that they're so serious.
Yeah, you need to, come on. Just let's relax.
Yeah, which most of it is circumstantial, but still, they're so serious.
But they're so serious. They're so on and off again every episode. I don't know.
They need to serious.
Just try to be normal and be together.
So it is nice to see an episode like this where they're trying to be normal, but it is weird because they're trying so hard to be normal.
It's so weird.
It's like they can't do it. It's just really odd.
Yeah.
But also, do we think Stefan really went on a date with Hugh Hefner and the twins?
I don't know. I thought about that too. He makes that offhanded comment about doing a double date before.
Yeah,
and it was
70s.
with Hef and the twins or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it was just like a bad joke.
He looks so serious about it.
But he looks so serious. Like, also, Stefan isn't the type to joke. So
I think he really did.
Weird.
But the only thing I could think about while this was like while he was saying this is like, he's frozen in the body of a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
So that was all I could think. I was like, he doesn't look 17 at all because Paul Wesley isn't.
No.
He looks great. He could go on a date with
anyone.
I don't know, whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, it was just like, he's supposed to be 17.
He's supposed to be 17. It's odd. It was weird. It gave me the ick. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. You and the Playboy bunnies, Stefan, okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
So they're going to go out on a date. And Anna shows up at the house. So they've left. Jeremy's home alone because Jenna's at the bar, which we'll get to.
Well, before Jenna goes to the bar, she and Pearl meet up to talk about the apothecary.
Yeah.
Which, not much to say there, just that Pearl wants the apothecary back.
Yeah, again, like you said. It's
yeah,
like,
it goes to their point that they kind of just want to make this 1864 again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that leaves Jeremy home alone. Anna must have stopped back over after the apothecary thing. And so she says she's staying in town and that she's going to start going to the school and be like a regular kid and all this stuff. And Jeremy, not so subtly, is bringing up vampires. He's like, I'm writing this paper.
Not subtle at all.
I'm going to write another paper about vampires.
Yep.
And Anna obviously now doesn't want him thinking about it or having any interest in it. So she's just kind of like, isn't that like overdone? You've already did it.
Yeah.
Like, she's trying to push him off.
Yeah.
It's not really working.
No.
But it's like, okay, they've really switched roles here with the lack of subtlety and the stalkerness.
Yeah, definitely. And Jeremy very clearly knows, I think even that she's a vampire, which we see later, but even in this scene it comes across like he knows.
He definitely knows.
And she's not playing it off all that well.
No, she's not. And so then, meanwhile, we've got Damon shows up with the girl in his day drunk, wearing sunglasses vibes. Yeah. And Kelly is already sitting there.
Of course.
Waiting for her interview for the bartending job.
Yep.
But she's being blown off because the manager doesn't like her.
Yeah, because she
slept
with the manager's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so they immediately hit it off. Wonderful.
Of course they do. Season 1, Damon and Kelly are kindred spirits.
Yeah.
They, just want to be day drunk. Have a lot to drink about.
But my favorite addition, which makes this scene actually fun for a little bit, is Jenna shows up. And I love when Jenna and Damon are in like a little group together.
I know.
Like I like them as like not a pair necessarily, but a pair within a group. Yeah. And so we get this scene with Kelly in season 2. We get with Mason. Yep. And sometimes they're around with Alaric. I wish that we could have gotten to an age where there's one with Elena, like Damon, Elena, Jenna.
That would have been fun.
Which we see that a little bit when they're like making dinner.
Yeah.
But the vibes are different. If we got to a point where Damon and Elena were together and Elena was like old enough to drink around Jenna. Yeah. And like they all got to be a little trio at the grill.
I know.
That would
I
have
do
been a
love
dream.
Jenna. Yeah. Damon and Jenna have such good friendship chemistry.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And I really love seeing them together. That's the only thing that redeems this scene.
Yeah, for a little while before it just goes off the rails.
Yep.
Also going off the rails, the two vampires, they are infighting, they're anxious, they're just trying to get out of the house. Frederick really is like antagonizing
everyone. Yeah, Harper, everyone.
And the only thing I think that we really get of interest in like these sort of cutaway scenes that we keep getting to them is he makes it very clear that they blame Stefan and Damon for getting caught. He says the Salvatores are the only reason that we were in the tomb.
Yeah.
Which is not true.
Well, so that's what I'm wondering. I was thinking about it in this scene. And again, we might get clarity on this, but I could also just be speculating. Does he think that they got them in the tomb because of their relationship with Catherine? Or did Catherine blame them? Or like, did someone else just blame them and they just kind of... Because to be fair, like, Giuseppe was a big part of the council and involved in getting them put in the tomb.
But if anything, that's Catherine's fault, not Stefan and Damon's.
Yeah. So, but that's my point. I think it is pretty clear that it's Catherine's like fault.
Yeah.
Even if you...
My guess is they're leaning into the whole Stefan trying to tell his dad thing, and that it's supposed to be like.
But would they know about that?
I don't know. I was thinking that. How would they have gotten that information?
I don't know. I'm just curious why they think it's.
They just want somebody to blame. Is probably the ultimate.
Yeah.
But why not blame the council? That's what they end up doing.
Which they do. Yeah, they do.
But they're the real
Catherine.
People to sort of.
I guess
Catherine is the number one
but...
person to blame. Obviously, she totally orchestrated the whole thing.
Yeah, but they're also probably all half in love with her. So
half of them are probably turned by her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing their whole thing. And the double date has like officially kicked off.
Yep. They're playing pool at the grill. Yeah. They're having fun. They're watching Damon, Jenna, and Kelly.
Yeah, getting super drunk.
Yep.
And they mentioned that Kelly and Elena's mom, Miranda, were best friends. And I thought that was so interesting. I had heard it before, but really never thought about it. And this time, obviously, because I was just thinking so much about how she treats Matt and just how bad of a mother she was, I was like, that really surprises me. And I don't know if the sense is like that they were friends only like when they were kids and they just fell out because obviously they were probably very different people as adults. Yeah. Or if they had fallen out a little bit later, and maybe part of the reason why Kelly is the way she is like maybe if Miranda was her best friend and died, there's something to be said about why she's, like, acting out and getting out of town and, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. I was curious about that. I was like, I wish we had a little bit more of a timeline as to...
Yeah.
how deep of a friendship they had when they were friends. Because they also say... It couldn't have been high school, actually, because they say that Matt and Elena practically grew up. They, like, shared a crib together.
Yeah.
So they were clearly best friends as, like, adults. At least 17 years ago.
At least around when Elena and Matt were born.
Yeah.
That's interesting. See, I don't know. It's hard to say because there's also the earlier scene where Jenna and Kelly first run into each other. And Jenna's saying, you know, you babysat me, and then I partied with you, which could be recently, I guess. Like, it could be more recently.
That's true, because Jenna's only supposed to be, like, probably early 20s.
Like 25, maybe. Yeah.
So maybe it would have been within the last 5-6 years, maybe.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's hard to say, but that is interesting. I mean, I'm sure it affected her in some way.
Yeah. Even if they had gone their separate ways and ended up doing other things, I do think that it would affect her.
Yeah, definitely.
They were best friends, like, through high school, at least.
Yeah.
And then through having children.
Yeah, raising your children together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, maybe a little bit of a way of justifying Kelly's whole vibe, but still.
Not fully, at least.
Not
but
fully.
Maybe there's
Not
something
fully.
there.
I think a lot of that is just Kelly.
Yeah, probably.
So that the double date is going awkwardly, even besides the fact that they're watching their like parental figures, almost all
parents,
of them, doing this. Matt and Elena, I actually don't think at the grill what they were talking about was so bad. They really were mostly just reminiscing. They were talking about, like, the first time they ever got drunk, and Elena had to, like, she faked choking, and she slipped, and it was, like, a funny little story. And you could tell, like, Stefan was, like, smiling and sort of just enjoying it, and it felt really real. Like, I mean, I've definitely been in this situation. We've definitely been those people in that situation where, like, when you're hanging out with other people, you can't help but, like, reminisce and tell these stories.
Yeah.
So I really did not think they were that bad. It just really felt like really good friends with a lot of history, like, reminiscing about stuff. Yeah. That's what you do.
No, I agree. Also, it's, like, a funny story. It fit well with what they were talking about. Like, I don't really think anyone, like, Matt or Elena, said anything too bad until Matt's comment later that we'll get to later. But
this one at the grill is really just innocent.
All at the grill, even a little bit before Matt's later comment.
Yeah.
I do think, like, reminiscing is fine. It sucks because it is kind of exclusive in a way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't think they were doing anything wrong.
It's just a part of it. They definitely weren't. But of course, Caroline is upset, and she drags Elena to the bathroom to tell her to stop, basically, to be like, stop it. Like, this is supposed to be reminding him why he likes me, not
Stop
you.
Hopscotching down memory lane with
which leaves Stefan and Matt to sort of chat for a second. And again, we've talked about this a couple times. I feel like they would really have made good friends if there had been time to, like, foster that.
I think so too. They have really good rapport. Matt is basically like, you know, you're that guy that's great at everything, like, you know, whatever, like, you know, you're so great, basically. And Stefan's like, wow, I would hate that guy, like, something like that, like, you know, taking it in stride and joking with him.
They
like,
totally
they do
vibe.
have a good, they do have a good vibe.
And again, Stefan is totally respectful of the fact that Elena and Matt have this history.
No,
and
he gets it.
He's like, you know, that's just what happens. Like, it's fully, it's fair. I feel nothing, like, bad about that. I'm glad you guys had a good time together.
Yeah, exactly. And you're still a good person, Matt. Yeah. I don't know. I do like their friendship.
Yeah, so they have a nice moment. And Elena and Caroline are coming back from the bathroom. And then somebody grabs Elena's arm and says, Catherine? And it's, of course, Frederick, the tomb vampire.
Yeah, he and Beth Ann snuck out.
Yes, they snuck out and they spotted her, which immediately raises the alarm bells for Stefan and Elena. Stefan has never learned the art of a subtle look ever.
No, he whips his head over and he's gone, of course.
Yeah, because Elena has to type it into her phone. She can't just say that.
Right, of course.
Because they would hear her. So she types it in her phone and shows Stefan, and he immediately whips his head up across the room, starts storming around looking. You can kind of see Matt in the background like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that kind of freaks him out, and immediately they move the double date to the Salvatore house.
Yeah.
Which I feel like the grill was probably safer than the Salvatore house, but I don't know.
Yeah, for the reasons that we already talked about, it would have been much safer at the grill.
Yeah.
When also Damon's there.
That's
Damon's
true.
also
There's
at the
at least
grill.
another vampire. They're not going to make any move on the grill. There's tons of humans there. There's just no way to get away with that.
No, it would
But
be
at the
impossible.
Salvatore house, anybody can come in.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they moved the date there, and it was really fun seeing Caroline and Matt reacting to the house, I forget that, like, till this point, only Elena has been there. I don't think anybody else has. So it was really interesting, like, seeing them react, and you were like, this is actually, like, at a huge house.
Yeah, it's an amazing house.
Especially when you remember, like, what Matt's house looks like, and Caroline's is pretty small. So it's nice seeing them, like, react to it. And Elena goes, do you guys want to watch a movie or something? Which made me laugh, because where do you even watch a movie in that house?
I was thinking that, too. I was like, I imagine they have, like, a room that's, like, a movie
just
theater
a TV
room.
Oh, yeah. A whole theater.
Yeah, like a theater room or something like
Honestly,
that. Or, like, a projector room.
They definitely need some sort of movie room, because I've never even seen a TV in any of the rooms they've ever showed. Not Stefan's, not Damon's, not the family room. Not the kitchen. Actually, well, no, not the kitchen. I'm thinking of in Legacies, they modify a lot of stuff. And so it's hard to remember exactly. But as far as I remember, in the Salvatore House, in Vampire Diaries, we never see a TV anywhere.
No.
So, and you definitely see it in, like, Elena's house and Caroline's house. Like, other people definitely have them. Matt's.
Yeah.
So, do they even have one? I don't know. They probably literally have to... You know, in school, when your teacher has, like, the projector, they have to roll out the projector, like, little table with the screen. That's probably what Stefan has to do. Everyone sits out on the couches in front of the fire, and Stefan has to roll out the projector for movie night.
It's like a 12 by 12 tube TV that's, like, strapped down. Like, there's a strap over the top. Yeah.
I'm just imagining the ricketiest little projector, like, rolly thing.
You have to, like, smack it to get it to start.
Oh, my God. It's from, like, 1982. Like, it barely works. It's so funny. I feel like that's what's going on there.
I think so, too, yeah.
They have enough money to buy a TV that, like,
they do,
frame TV, or, like, you know, like a really nice TV. Not that those existed then, but, like, they have the money to buy whatever they want. But that's probably what they have.
Yeah, I can see they wouldn't, though.
They have. Although Damon has to find a way to keep up to date with all those pop culture references. So
yeah, there must be one somewhere.
They've got some tactics. So that's what Elena suggests. But instead, Matt's eye is caught by this random glass case in the corner.
I've never seen this before.
Never seen it before. We never see it again. And I've looked for it before. Because after, like, one time I was watching this episode, and then I happened to watch something in, like, a much, much later season, like season... I don't know, when the heretics or whatever are living there, and it's not there. It's 1,000% not there. There's this glass case full of, like, model cars. Yeah. Which then, like, Matt is like, oh, I love cars, and Stefan's all, me too, and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, where did this come from? I don't know. I definitely can't see Damon doing, like, the model cars, like, assembling them. Maybe Stefan, but...
I could see Stefan, but, like...
Not really.
Having a glass case in the living room of the Salvatore house for it, it's just so weird. But they just needed to give them something to bond over. So then that turns into a whole thing where it's like, oh, I love old cars. I have an old car. And
Let's
that moves
the old car.
Yeah, that moves the date along. But it's just so weird that they just, like, were like, let's just stick a random case of old cars. We should go back to, like, episode 12, like a couple episodes ago, and be like,
and
was
see
it
if it
still
was
there?
Even there. Yeah, it wasn't. There's no way.
I know it wasn't.
Yeah, no.
The date that is still continuing at the grill turned into a date at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Kelly and Damon have started this the thing that people do when they're being flirtatious, like the twisting the cherries.
The tying the cherry,
Yeah, with your mouth. I couldn't even look.
I had to look away. It was like borderline.
Too much. I wasn't getting full ick for Damon, but I was borderline. I was like,
I know. I was like, this will taint him for me. Like, I was like, I
can't acknowledge this. I know he's, like, grieving the whole Catherine thing. He's in a bad place, but
but don't do this.
This gave me worse of an ick than, like, any of the actual really bad things he's done.
I know. I'm like, kill Jeremy all you want. This is terrible.
Yeah. Which Jenna agrees, and she leaves.
Yeah, she's like,
she gets out of there. It's getting way too hot, way too fast.
You gotta leave when that happens. When it's time to go and you're third wheeling,
it's time to go. Yeah, so Jenna stumbles out of the bar, literally breaks her heel.
Yep.
And Frederick, the tomb vampire,
oh my God,
tries to compel her. He just, like, comes right up, snaps her other shoe, and
which is
like,
kind of cute.
It almost worked for like a second.
If he wasn't an absolute creep, it would have worked.
Yeah, if it wasn't like a dark alleyway, basically, where he was luring her away from her safety.
Yeah.
It could have been cute.
But
no, he's like the general, like, oh, come home with me tricks aren't using. So he like goes straight for the compulsion, which of course she has on Vervain. Yep. I think she has Vervain perfume because he asks about her smell, that she smells like it. Which I was like, that's interesting. I wonder if that would even work.
I don't know. I actually feel like they did mention like a Vervain perfume. I think they mentioned it in season 2.
Oh, really?
When the whole Catherine thing happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
She gets Jenna off of the perfume and the tea.
Perfume. Yeah, and tea. So yeah, she probably does smell like it, which is interesting.
That's interesting. It would work.
I don't know.
I suppose if you're putting it on directly enough, it would What is the word? Yes, thank you. I was like, sweep, sleep, sneep. What am I trying to say? I don't know. It would seep. I was throwing in a letter I didn't need. It would seep into her like bloodstream and potentially work. I don't know.
Sure. Makes sense, I guess.
Jump off logic, whatever. But anyway, he's getting definitely too aggressive. He's being really weird.
No, he's being a creep.
And she's laughing at it because it's not working.
No.
And she just like leaves. She's like, I don't know.
She gets out of there. Thank God.
Yeah. But she does reveal where the Salvatores live.
Yeah, in this conversation. Yeah, he's asking all about them, of course.
Yeah. Because she was with Damon, and he's like, oh, that was Damon. Does he live on Miller Road? And she's like, no.
Yeah, no, out at the old Salvatore house, which he wouldn't even know, I just realized. She does say it's by the Wickery Bridge, but like...
Yeah,
he wouldn't know.
Salvatore boarding house was
he would
was not there then.
Was.
But Wickery Bridge, we know that's been around.
Yeah.
It's
just interesting. Like, is he out there wandering around looking for, like, I don't know.
No. He finds them eventually.
He does find them, of course.
Another date that's going on. This is
the date episode.
Yeah, the big date episode. Anna and Jeremy. They've escalated to making sandwiches now on their little date night.
Yeah.
And he pulls the classic move of slicing your hand open to see what the vampire will do.
Which also, so I noticed when they cut back to it in the second scene, it doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
But when he does it, it is like a full, like I'm going to John Gilbert myself. Like,
it's literally
full hand.
It's like the way that like Klaus does it when he's like giving people blood to heal him. And it's like Klaus can do that because he heals instantly. Jeremy, you're going to get an infection and die.
His whole hand. Yeah, I thought that was a little dramatic.
It was so dramatic. And it only gets more dramatic because he is like really like pushing it in her face. And she like drinks from his hand.
Yeah, which also, I mean, Anna obviously was willing to reveal her hand because she like vamp speeds and like pins him up against the wall. But if she didn't want to, why wouldn't she just have been like, oh, it just makes me queasy? I don't know, because she's acting so weird about it.
Yeah, she doesn't play it off very well, but you can tell this. She's just like really overcome, intoxicated by the smell. She's having a hard time suppressing the vampires, so it's gonna reveal itself anyway. It's kind of like with Stefan, where it was like, which he did really play hard at, which he had to play hard. Like Elena was like really trying to turn him around, and he wouldn't. So I don't know.
I think she just didn't want to.
She knew. He was on it already.
Everyone knew. She did not want to conceal it that badly. Like, she didn't want it enough.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was interesting.
So anyway, you know who found what interesting? Matt. With their little race cars.
The car. Stefan, brilliant. He knows the oldest trick in the book. The way to get to a man's heart is to like trick them into mansplaining something to you.
Yeah, Stefan knows the tactics.
Yeah, he's like, the engine doesn't work on this car. Like, blah, blah, blah. Which apparently Matt has been fixing Elena's dad's Camaro. Like, like he's fixed it 20 times over or something. I don't know.
No, I thought that was so ridiculous. I was like, how has Stefan had this car in the garage? To the point where he even says he hasn't had a car this whole time, we found out. Yeah. He's not had a car. He's just been running places. And so Stefan had his car.
Picturing him vamp speed.
Like, when you imagine the first day of school, he ran there.
He sprinted, he vamps.
That night when he went to her house to like give her the diary, he ran there. He's not driving anywhere. He's just running to all these places.
Alina, you want to come over? Get on my back. We're running there.
It's very Twilight vibes. It's very Spider Monkey. Like, it's so funny.
Anyway.
But Matt messes with the car for literally 60 seconds and has it working again just fine.
He's a genius.
Yeah. I don't know how Stefan couldn't find a mechanic that could do that because he has the resources to do so.
Yeah. I also, I wondered a little bit about it. Like, was it really, like, that badly broken? Like, is there another reason, like, Stefan wouldn't have just been driving it around? Like, he could have just not driven it around because it would draw attention.
That's true. It's like a vintage, really nice car.
I'll let Matt have this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I have to believe it wasn't that big of a fix. Like, it happens in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. But, so the amount of time it takes for it to happen is they're talking about the car.
Yep.
And they start talking about sports cars. And this is where I think it does dive into the territory.
Yeah, this is so bad.
No longer just friends reminiscing. And now it's becoming like, okay, that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
They start to escalate, which they're talking about the dad's Camaro. Yeah. And like Matt mentions them like, I don't know, doing something in the car, and Caroline's like, I don't like sports cars because they're hard to make out in. Yeah. Matt's like, oh, well, we managed just fine. Why did you need to say that? Are you an idiot, Matt? Like, yes, he is.
He's so dumb.
You didn't need to say that. All you needed to say is like, I don't know, it's fine. They still look cool. Like, you know, like you could have just said anything. Or just say nothing. Just breeze past it. Just be like, oh, you just don't get it. Like, cars are just cool. Cars are cool. Yeah. Whatever. It didn't have to come back around to like, basically, well, I've made out in one with Elena and it was great. It was the best time of my life.
Yeah. Anything but that. Matt is so...
He's clueless.
He's so bad.
So Caroline is justifiably upset. Like, she's justifiably mad. She like walks away and Elena goes to talk to her, and like this really gets at this deep-seated insecurity that Caroline has about being everyone's second choice. And like I always say that I really relate to Caroline in later seasons as a vampire because I'm very type A, I'm very like controlling, yada yada. But like even in this debate, I'm like, do people relate to her? Because I definitely do in this like thing of being like feeling like people's second choice and like the insecure, at least as a 17-year-old. Now I'm a little bit more confident.
I was gonna say, is this true?
No. Now I'm a little bit more sure of myself.
As a 17-year-old, absolutely.
But at 17, 18, you definitely feel like everybody's second choice because she says it's not even about Matt, it's about like Bonnie, that she's second choice to Bonnie. And so I don't know. I just was like, Caroline is like very relatable. She's like the height of insecurity, but that is high school.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I do think she's relatable. It's very understandable. Also, I mean, we've seen, you know, Matt dated Elena first, and now she's with Matt. She was interested in Stefan on the first day of school, and he chose Elena. Like,
that's true.
Bonnie and Elena do seem to have like a very tight friendship. I don't think her insecurities are baseless.
No,
I don't think she's a second choice. Like, you know, you can have multiple friends, and you can date someone before you date another person.
Yeah. But we're grown women now, and we see these things.
We understand now. Yeah. But I can absolutely see as a 17-year-old being like, I'm everyone's second choice. Like,
and it's such a fair thing to say to Elena, too, because it is also very true that Elena is everyone's first choice. Like, Elena is very much like a top of the food chain person in this, like, first season.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. It's just interesting. I really liked that sort of conversation they have. But it gets cut off because Matt gets the car working.
Yes, thank God. In 2 seconds.
Yeah, in 2 seconds. So they roll out with the car. And Stefan says that they can go for a drive. I think which I love. It's a good Stefan episode.
It is a good Stefan episode. I thought that too, other than the Hugh Hefner comment. Yeah, he lets them take it for a ride. I'm like, he gets it.
Stefan is
He's being a good boyfriend in this one.
Yeah, Stefan is a really good boyfriend in this episode. He gets the flowers. He's doing everything he can to like make it normal. Yeah, he's doing all the right things. Yeah. And again, he sends them off for the little drive because he knows they need a moment. And I don't know. I feel like the drive is interesting because that's where Matt and Caroline now have a private moment to talk.
Yeah.
And Matt is not being fair to Caroline about this. He's
like, I told you I still liked Elena.
Yeah, I told you going in that I felt this way. And it's like,
sure, fine. We all understand if you do feel that way, Matt. But don't say you were making out in the sports car.
Yeah, it didn't need to be said.
No.
And then, like, I think he said something about it, like, being because she was, like, insecure or something. And it's like, you cannot say that this is, like, a baseless reason to be angry.
No, it's really not.
Because he's saying what we're saying of it's reminiscing with friends, and it's like, it was that, but you definitely took it.
But you escalated it. You made it so much worse.
Yeah, but again, this is only Matt's probably second relationship. I think we are led to believe Elena's the only relationship the two of them have ever been in.
Yeah,
like
I think so.
They've pretty much grown up together. So he's really just figuring it out now with Caroline.
Yes.
They make good in this scene. They start making out. She hits her head. Sports cars.
They do have a little moment. It's salvaged.
Yeah. For now.
Back. Yeah, for now. So yes, they're out on their little drive. They make out. They decide to come back. It's been long enough, I guess. And cut to, Damon has brought home Kelly. Of course. Why wouldn't he? They had the cherry moment. They're back once again. I don't remember what happened in the scene because I couldn't watch, but I assume...
basically pushing her up against the wall.
I assume it's a lot.
It's a lot.
They're making out all over the place, but also not anywhere private, just in the hallway right there when you walk in the door. And of course, they all walk through the door, including Matt.
Yeah.
Poor Matt.
Imagine seeing your ex...
I would literally perish.
Your ex making out with your boyfriend's mother. Literally devastating. Like, it's definitely worse for Matt. It's definitely
worse for Matt.
It's way more embarrassing. But I thought about it too when Caroline was like Damon. I was like, oh yeah, that's her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's so awkward.
Also, I don't know. I would have such secondhand embarrassment as Stefan and Elena.
Oh my god. Everyone should be embarrassed.
I'm sure everyone wanted to die. They were like,
except for Damon.
Except Damon. He was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Damon's just like, can't deny what I've got. Like, everyone should have a piece. That's Damon's vibe. But everyone else is like ready to die.
Yep.
Yeah, so everyone leaves because, of course, you can't stay there.
You can't come back from that.
Yeah, so Matt takes home his mom, Elena takes home Caroline, and it's just Stefan and Damon, and they're about to get into another judgy brother fight about... whatever, about Damon, can't believe you've done this.
How could you? Yeah. Even though Damon, I mean, he's kind of justified. He didn't really do anything wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong.
But he didn't do anything wrong.
It's not even really bad. It's just an adult making out with another adult. Just because it's Matt's mom, who cares? It just sucks that Matt was there for it.
He didn't know Matt would be there. Damon had no way of knowing that.
Otherwise, it was fine. Nobody wanted to see it.
It's gross, but it's fine.
I'm not trying to justify it, but it was technically fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, before they get a chance to get into the whole judgy fight zone, the tomb vampires literally burst in through the windows.
Yeah.
They start attacking them.
Yeah, it's just the two of them, Frederick and Beth Ann.
Yes. And Stefan kills Beth Ann.
Yeah, has to stake Beth Ann. And Frederick is fighting Damon, but he kind of sees Beth Ann get staked. Yeah. So he just leaves.
Yeah, he has enough time to just be like, this is not a winning fight now that it's 1 against 2. I got
there's
to go.
No chance.
So he makes a run for it, and now Stefan has found out all the tomb vampires are out because he didn't know.
He had no idea. Yeah.
Damon didn't tell him, and obviously he knew something was going on earlier when
someone saying
Catherine to Elena, but he didn't really know what that meant. I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah, that could be anyone.
It could be another person coming to try to lock her out of the. You don't know.
Yeah.
But this has confirmed it. It's like, wait a second, they're all out.
They're all out. All 25 of them.
Yeah. Bringing this back around to where we started.
Yes.
Poor Maddie Blue Eyes.
Oh my god, poor Angel. Yeah. Kelly tries to make amends and Matt is not really having anything to do with it. Obviously. Poor Matt. The theme of this episode, he's just getting he's poorly treated by his mother. It's so unfortunate. He has to have this talk with her. It makes me so sad. He says, I'm the kid, Mom. You're supposed to be responsible for me. And it's so sad.
It's so sad. And that's what I said at the start of the episode, that it feels like he's the parent. And then it brings it back around that he's like, I literally am the kid.
Yeah. He also says in this conversation that he was just trying to enjoy the night because of all the crap he has to deal with, paying the bills, which we've talked about. But let's also not forget all of the Vicky stuff. He was trying to support her and take care of her.
And they don't even know yet.
They have no idea. It's so sad.
It's so sad that the rent is all backed up, the bills. It's just devastating that Matt has that much pressure on him, and then his mom is acting the way she is.
It's terrible.
If you don't feel sympathetic for Matt, if you're a Matt hater out there, watch this episode and settle down.
Yeah, give season 1 a rewatch.
Yeah. Especially this episode. I feel like this is the one that nails it in.
Yeah.
If you don't feel bad for Matt at least a little bit, this is the episode to watch.
Definitely.
Anyway, so they have their whole conversation.
They try to make amends. Yeah.
And then
Frederick has to tell Pearl that Beth Ann is dead. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Pearl is like, pissed. And she stabs him, which I also, I know she can't for obvious reasons. But I also wondered, why doesn't she just kill him right then and there? Like, he's being such a problem.
It's hard to say what the other vampires would do.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really...
He seems to have, like, a higher... I mean, obviously, we will see in the very next one. He has pull with the rest of them.
Yeah.
So...
I think, they probably would have lashed out. That's realistically why she wouldn't do it, but...
Yeah.
No. But also, at this point, why wouldn't you be like, maybe we shouldn't stick around if...
He's causing so many problems.
22 people we can't control. Mm-hmm. 21 now, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, if they're all going to be trying to kill people and ruining this for us, maybe we shouldn't stay around. I don't know.
Feels like the answer, but we're going to have a lot more to say on that in the next
there
one.
will be a lot more to talk about. But
meanwhile, in this one, wrapping it up, Stefan and Elena are on the phone. She had to let him know that she got home safe.
Which I thought was really cute.
Well, what was not cute? In the background, Stefan's on the call. Damon is dragging around Beth Ann's body, trying to pick it up. It's so funny watching him struggle.
Good. Yeah, you just see Stefan talking on the phone in the background. Damon's just dragging her. It's so good.
Yeah, and he's like, little help. Like,
yeah, he's also like, Stefan on the phone is like, yeah, just a normal night. We were having just
he doesn't tell her what happened.
Yeah, of course not. Of course.
Yeah, he's just like, oh yeah, we had a great normal.
Yeah.
Totally normal.
Very normal.
Meanwhile, Damon in the background dragging on a body, which is obviously more normal.
It is normal as the seasons go on. Yeah. But not exactly what Elena was probably picturing.
And then, so Jeremy and Elena, I like the moment too where they're brushing their teeth together and they're both just like, normal night. Again, everyone's pretending everything's normal.
Yep.
Which of course for Jeremy it very much wasn't.
No.
And so he goes back into his room and Anna is waiting there to confront him, to ask him why he did that. And he admits that he knows he knew about the vampires because of Vicky and the articles. The articles were like what kind of linked it. But he knew this girl who had issues and he thought it was drugs. But now he's wondering, maybe she's a vampire.
Yeah.
And also,
I want to be a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That crack we talked about in the compulsion is wide open now. He clearly remembers a lot about Vicky and what happened to her.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he wants that for himself now.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I mean, I think he just... I don't know why he really wants it. We can talk about it more in later
we
episodes.
get the answer later. We do get the answer. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
It's so sad. But yes, so that wraps up this episode. Yeah. That's all we get for episode 16. There Goes the Neighborhood.
Yes. Our only death this episode was Beth Ann, who was staked by Stefan. So
Stefan's rising in numbers.
He might. Well, he won't catch Damon, but he might.
He will eventually.
He did probably in life, like in his whole life.
He definitely blew past Damon in the number of kills. We'll see in season 3. That's when he'll really make up some numbers.
That's true. Yeah, he'll make up some ground.
But anyway, the other person that will never be caught up to is my nominee for out of pocket moments. This person, if they were in every episode, would win every episode for me. Kelly freaking Donovan.
Yeah, Kelly is pretty out of pocket for that.
I don't even have a specific moment where I'm like, oh, I mean, I guess making out with Damon in front of her son is pretty bad. But I don't know. I just feel like everything she does is just out of pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good way to go. I was also thinking of Jeremy just slicing his hand the way he did. And
that's
just
pretty funny.
How unsubtle he was being.
Yeah, that's pretty good, too.
I thought that was also a little out of pocket, but... I'm willing to give it to Kelly.
Kelly, just in general. I think we gave it to Kelly in the last one or the one before, too.
Her whole presence when she's back is
out of pocket. Because also I can think of something that happens in, not the next one, but 2 episodes from now, and she's easily going to win out of pocket.
Yeah.
She kills it.
Yeah. So Kelly Donovan wins our out of pocket, for sure.
Good for her.
Yes. As for best quote, I don't know. I didn't really have a ton of standout quotes in this one.
Yeah.
I liked some of the things Caroline said, like the hopscotch down memory lane.
It's funny.
I was thinking she's very quick. She's very sharp-witted, especially in this season. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of what she says. It's always funny and it's always a good dig. But I didn't have anything specific.
That's a good funny one from Caroline. The one that stuck out to me, I usually am writing down lots of quotes and repeating them in this, and the only one that I really stuck with was, "I'm the kid, Mom." It's so sad from Matt. "You're supposed to be responsible for me." That was the one line that, like, the second it was uttered, I was like, oh, I gotta write that down.
Right in the heart, yeah.
Like, that was such a good one. It's a sappy one. We usually go funny, so I don't know if we want to do it, but...
No, I'm good with that one, because I also did think I liked that little monologue that Matt gives to his mom. So I think we can go with, "I'm a kid," or "I'm the kid, Mom."
I'm the kid, Mom. Poor Matt. I think he's won so far with the quippy, funny ones, but a sad one for Matt.
A sad one for Matt.
So next up, we've got Song of the Episode, which was a little difficult, this one, I think.
Yeah, not as bad as some of the past couple of episodes, but there were at least, like, 2-ish memorable songs.
Yeah.
And again, great scoring.
Yes, I wish we could, like, give the scoring again, honestly. Especially in the last bit with Anna and Jeremy. It was really strong. I feel like that really built that moment up. Better than, like, any selected song could have. But the honorable one, I think, is probably the most prominent one that, like, stuck out to me was The Mess I Made by Parachute, which plays when Matt and Caroline are in the car. I just don't personally love that one all too much, but it really sticks out in the episode.
Yeah, I think so, too. I am reluctant to give it to that song just because I don't like it. So my only other thought was Better Than This by Keen. I think that's how you say it. That plays when they're all at school in the very beginning of the episode. And I did at least remember the song being in there, which is more than I can say than for a lot of the other songs.
Yeah.
But it's probably the Parachute song that really stands out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think we got to give it to Better Than This, though. I think that was the better song.
It is definitely the better song. Better vibe.
Let's give it to that one. Sorry to The Mess I Made. You definitely stuck out more.
You did, but
it was so 2009. It was a little painful.
2009,
yeah. So I think Better Than This, Keen, is going into our Song of the Episode playlist. Every episode we add a new song to the playlist. You can find it linked in all of our various bios and descriptions. You can also find our TikTok and our Instagram. We're at the Rippah Diaries podcast. We love posting fun memes, clips, TikToks, etc. And you can follow us there.
Yeah, and you can also listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can watch the video version of the podcast on YouTube. And you can tune in every Thursday. We drop new episodes on Thursdays. And next week, we're dropping episode 17, Let the Right One In. I love this episode.
One of my all-time favorites. Yes. So excited to get to that one.
Yeah, this is the one where Stefan gets kidnapped and Alaric, Elena, and Damon have to go rescue him, which is just an amazing trio.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so a lot to look forward to next Thursday.
Yeah, so we hope you see we hope we see you then. Thanks for watching and or listening. Bye.
Bye.